Y'all get in here. It said it was active.
Oh, you already pressed the live button?
I think we live. We live. What's going on, Band-Aid Gang? I told y'all, what's up, Coral? What's up, everybody? I told you we was all gas, no break. And we wasn't gonna let up, y'all. This is my reaction off of Lex Wexner. Like I tell everybody, it's a must that we pay attention to the deposition that Lex Wexner did, because it opens up a lot of doors along with the Bill Clinton. So all these people that's on the chopping block, these lawyers and people are adding up everything and putting all the pieces together. And that's what I'm trying to do with the people on my channel. Now, I wanted to let everybody know, thank you. If you just came in, thank you for the likes, double tapping the screen and coming in. Now, I got a document here, right? So as we go into the Lex Wexner, like we stayed into, and I want to thank the Most High for giving me the power, giving me the sight to see, giving me the words to use to make all this stuff manifest. So as we look here, if anybody knows, Michael Levi is the attorney of Lex Wexner. Thank y'all for the likes. So it appears here, Band-Aid Gang, as you see at the top, Michael Levi appears to be mentioned in the Epstein emails. He worked at the White House under Clinton. And we just went over the thing with Clinton. So they should have asked Clinton if he knew Michael Levi, which is the attorney, Band-Aid Gang, of Lex Wexner. Now it says he worked at the White House under Clinton, Band-Aid Gang, under Bill Clinton. Ain't that something? Was involved with Exxon, the fuel, with the gasoline, and FTX, and more. So right here on this one, we're looking at it, and it says, further marked message below. Now this was sent from Lex Christinian, how if you say that name, on a Friday, June 14, 2013 is when this was sent at 10:30 in the morning. Very urgent, 10:30 in the morning. Okay, very urgent. So it says, Jeffrey, further to mark message below, release notes, Michael Levi was the banker trust before moving to Deutsche Bank, where he was head assistant management. Now that's that one file. So now we know that the attorney, so it also says we could be dealing with the mob, or we could be dealing with what? The Rothschilds. So the attorney could belong to the Rothschilds. And a lot of people been saying that on the internet. So his attorney that we see representing him, so as we go into this live, is in the Epstein files, Band-Aid Gang. Lex Wexner attorney is in the Epstein files. So it says, I will be grateful. It would be grateful. Now, this was sent from Mark Lloyd, Friday, June 14, 2013, at 10 in the morning, Band-Aid Gang. At 10 in the morning is when this comes in, right? So, again, it's going to mention Lex Wexner's attorney. It says, Jeffrey, I would be grateful. It would be grateful if you cast your eye on the attachment. It is a fund. So they got this F equals. We don't figure out what that means later. F equals set up by childhood friend lawyers. They're Hoovers, okay, who now lives and works in Greenwich, okay. So it would be a good idea to connect his funds, here, everybody. We got 27 in the building. Double tap the screen. To our contract based to hence the Burns Lynch funds was formed. So now it says, given a huge experience in this world, I would value your opinion. There's the equal sign. It equals you. So I guess that money, I guess this equal sign that they use symbolize money, might know one of the founder investors, Michael Levi. And you can clearly see Michael Levi is Les Wexner's attorney, gang, who used to be very big in credit. First Boston, okay? And also Robert Bass was invested through his Oak Hill Capital Partner Fund. Money laundering, gang. All of we're watching is laundering money, cleaning up their money. In an event, I would love to meet you at Thures Hoover and wonder if I could set up a meeting. Band-Aid gang. Boom, next one. So as we go into this clip, so now you're going to look at stuff a little bit different. I'm going to get you out of the chat here. We don't play those games. See, y'all send them in when we come in. They send the troops in, gang, once we start to bust them down, right? Once we start busting them down, we will get you out of here. We know what they send over here to try to play that game when we start doing them all type of ways. So from Lars, again, here's another email sent June 14, 2000. So this is the same day, basically, everybody. The same day. They hitting him back to back. So, okay, to Jeffrey Epstein, Mark Lloyd, CC subject, Barnes, how you say that, Angel? Luckner Fund. So this is the Luckner Fund. The Luxner Fund, if I pronounce that right. Further, now this is to Jeffrey Epstein. Okay? So it says, further to Mark message below, release note, Michael Levi was with Banker Trust. Now this is Les Wexner's attorney before moving to Dutch Bank, where he was head of management assistance. So now, this is where he was. So everybody go ahead, get your pens, jot this down, do your research. Band-Aid game, if you're part of the channel, double tap the screen. Thank you. Make sure y'all tune in tonight. We're going to go to the tunnels. I have my exclusive live. I saved it tonight. We're going on at 10 o'clock. You don't want to miss that live, so make sure you hit the notification bell so you can get your alerts and know when we're about to go on our live. So we want to thank you guys for joining today. So now we're going to go back and do this examine, because examining, when you're comparing what happened to Bill Clinton and his interview, all of this stuff is going to fall into play. But you have to see, when you go ahead and look at Lex Wexner's deposition, and as we break this down and I do my reaction, this is my reaction under Act 107, Fair Use Commentary. My people told me to go ahead and do it the right way, so we can stay on the right path. So when we can hit you guys tonight, everything will resonate and fall into play, and we will see what's happening with this governor. And as long as we keep speaking, then something will be done about it. This is my reaction. Please hit the like button, subscribe, double tap the screen, and share.
And the article, sure, it starts with the word soon. It's the very last sentence on the bottom of page 3.
Starting there. Oh.
And that sentence, I'll read it out loud as well, says that soon Mr. Epstein was presenting Mr. Wexner with a variety of investments, including apartment buildings and a development involving a former post office building, says Mr. Morosky. And we understand that to be Robert Morosky, a former vice chairman of your company. Is that consistent with what you remember Epstein doing for you?
Objection. Hearsay. You can answer.
No. No. Okay. Do you have any recollection of Epstein presenting you with investment opportunities such as these?
I'm sure he did, but they weren't apartment
Don't act
buildings or
stupid,
post
gang.
office.
You know about all of this.
It didn't. Yeah. Do you remember? No, I don't remember.
You have to remember. He had power attorney over everything that you own,
that,
gang.
as far as you recall, that statement is just not accurate?
Well, there's two parts of it. In reading this one, not accurate. And I fired Bob Morosky for bad behavior.
Bad
But
behavior?
as to the substantive part, is it that you don't recall whether or not Epstein would present you with these types of investments?
What is bad behavior? You don't have a classroom. You mean bad business? Are you talking about bad business? Where you get bad behavior? Bad behavior. Are you a teacher? What are you, gang? You're not. You're a money launderer, and you have admitted that you are in some kind of cult, and you get possessed by demons. Did I mention that we got that? You possessed by demons, and you eat children and adrenochrome, allegedly. Let's go.
No, I do not recall.
Okay.
And the quote is from somebody that I fired.
Okay. In addition to the, I guess, family office role that you described, I'd like to ask about whether Epstein provided other services to you. We know that he provided some later clients with tax planning services. Did he ever do anything like that for you?
Must have, but I have no specific recollection. I mean, somebody, my attorney, tax attorneys, I'm kind of a muddle about who did what.
And so is it fair to say again that you just don't recall either way?
Nurse 59.
Yeah, I don't recall at all.
Okay. Separately from that, Mr. Epstein was a trustee for various trusts and charities of yours. I'd like to touch.
Now he's a trustee of very charity, so this man knows exactly. Nobody's going to give people that type of power over their assets without keeping track of their assets. You're going to keep track of everything that's going on. So this is why you get the expression coming out of his face, because you know they about to hit him in all type of ways.
On both of those roles, starting with trusts. And so I will introduce Minority Exhibit B.
Uh-oh. Don't look bad. You know what time it is,
And
guys.
that article is from ABC News, and it's titled "Billionaire Businessman Leslie Wexner Refuses to Reveal Full Scope of Jeffrey Epstein's Alleged Multi-Million-Dollar Theft," dated January 23rd, 2020. And
It's January 25th.
great. Thank you. Well, I have January 23rd.
So actually at this point, Lex Wexner, attorney that we see on the top on the left on the green screen, is in the Epstein files. So we just showed that, so make sure y'all check it out. So he's involved in banking, management. So he also had money into Exxon Oil. So this is the mob, right? So the mob is watching him. So we can think that Lex Wexner, his attorney, is basically his handler. His handler. So they're going to have to allegedly get rid of Lex Wexner. We don't know what's going to happen, but tragically, something's going to happen to Lex Wexner. And because he's liable to tell, he's old, he's going to give it up, especially if they talk about putting him behind bars. He's going to be like Maxwell. He's going to be a lot of bribing going on, right? There's going to be a lot of bribing going on. Trust me, gang. And they want to avoid that. Same with Donald Trump, allegedly. Double tap the screen. I was finna say double Trump the screen. Don't Trump my shit. Now, we ain't trumping nothing over here, gang. So I want to tell you this. You got to understand. They allegedly have to take Donald Trump out. Donald Trump knows he is in danger. You're dealing with the Rothschild. You're dealing with the mob, gang. You're dealing with these secret societies, Illuminati, that you guys made an oath. These men made an oath to what they're worshiping, which is the devil, if you ask me. And you have to pay the devil back. Now you see the devil has come to collect on these men. And it's sad it happened when they had a good run, didn't they? They had a good run. They had a good run, Band-Aid gang, Diamond gang. And now you have to pay the piper. You see, when you make a deal with the devil, don't think the devil is not going to come back and collect. And you thought worshiping the devil was going to help you? No.
So I'm looking at the date in the upper right. You're right.
All right.
Under the byline is January 23rd.
There you go.
It's got two dates. I don't know which is correct.
All right. On page 3 of this article, and I'll let you take a moment, in the middle of that page, the article says that they identified nearly a dozen trusts connected to you.
Uh-oh.
I don't think...
Where is that?
Sure, it starts in the paragraph, Volsher and Boyd.
His attorney is
Middle
in the
of the page.
Epstein files. Michael
Who are
Levi is in the
I
Epstein
think they're
files.
associated with ABC's investigative reporting team.
Thank you.
And it tells us that they found nearly a dozen trusts
Whoa.
with names like health and science interests, arts interests, and community interests connected to Wexner that listed Epstein as trust.
One of them said hearts, y'all. Science. Let's go back and track to Bill Clinton. Science. Operational moves on children. Let's continue.
and received large gifts of stock in Wexner's company. So I'll stop there. Do you have a recollection of the trusts that are described here?
None.
Why not? You're
And so,
lying.
do you have any recollection of Mr. Epstein's role with those trusts?
None.
Why not?
Okay.
Why not? They're gone. This cookie's about to crumble, gang. The whole cookie's about to crumble. Donald Trump is going to go down one way or another. Either the mob is going to take him out allegedly, or London, the British. See, the British don't want no part because the British are in it. The British got to sneak up and get Donald Trump. Trust me, gang.
We will come back to that, but I'd like to touch for a moment on Epstein's role with the Wexner Foundation. And I, for that, will introduce Minority Exhibit C. And this document is titled Independent Review of Jeffrey Epstein's Involvement and Interactions with the Wexner Foundation. And the document is dated February 24th, 2020. I'm not going to ask you to read through this. It's a long document. I will point you to a specific part of it. But first, we understand this to be an independent review that was undertaken by a law firm at the request of the Wexner Foundation in the wake of Mr. Epstein's arrest in 2019.
No, don't try to act surprised, bro. You know what's going on. That's why we stand right here. This is our strategic moves on how we do. This may be old to you, but it's new to us because this is what's going to break everything when it comes to this Epstein file. This is what's going to take that whole operation down. That's why they got this gentleman up here, because he has too many ties and there's so much information between this man and other big heads that's going to put all the pieces together, and some of his deposition tied in to Bill Clinton's. Let's go.
Also your understanding?
I never knew of it.
Yes, you did.
I've looked at this, I'm laughing, because the address is 65 East State Street.
There's
and
no
that was
time
the
to
address
laugh.
of my dad's first store when I was 13.
Okay. Well,
He
so
even
is
used
the
his
report
daddy, gang.
unfamiliar to
He
you?
used his daddy, gang. Ain't that bad? He know his daddy passed away and used his daddy. Don't cap now. You even use your unalive daddy, your passed away daddy, gang. You done.
Yes.
Okay.
Made a deal with the
And
devil.
I think page 4 of the report says that you were interviewed by the law firm for this report. Do you have any recollection of that?
Nope.
Wow.
None.
Do you have any reason to doubt
We got
interview
we got to get
for
the likes
report?
up. Let's keep this video in the algorithms, y'all.
No.
Okay.
Remember it, so
Sure.
I can't doubt it.
Page 9 of the report simply tells us that Epstein,
Thank you for the like.
and I'll let you turn to it if you'd like, but it just tells us that Epstein was elected as a trustee of the Wexner Foundation in 1992, and that he remained a
20
trustee
from the building. Let's double
until
tap that screen.
September 2007. Epstein would not have been the only trustee of the Wexner Foundation, correct?
Objection as to hearsay.
No,
as to
don't
the
try to cut
document.
in
Questions?
because your money into it
Can
too.
you repeat
See,
it?
the attorney
Sure.
got something to do with
Would
this
Epstein,
too.
did the Wexner Foundation have more than one trustee?
Look,
I'm sure it did, and I think there was a legal requirement to have 3. And I don't know that. I just think that.
you just think that, but you don't know that, gang. You. That's why some way he's gonna end up croaking over. Some way allegedly he's gonna end up croaking over, gang. He's gonna panic to death. He's not gonna wake up in the right condition, gang. This right here is gonna decline his condition. Let's go.
On the next page, page 10, under the header number 2,
His condition will decline.
there's a header that reads, Epstein played no role in the operation of the foundation's fellowships or other programs. And the first sentence afterward says, based upon our review of foundation records and interviews with foundation leaders, we concluded that although a trustee,
I just pinned it. I
Epstein
just
played
pinned
no
your
role
post.
in the management or administration
absolutely right,
of the
Vince.
foundation's operations or programs. Now, on that topic, I'd like to introduce one more single-page exhibit for you.
So
They slapping stuff down, they scared him.
As both a statement and hearsay.
They slapping shit around,
As the
pow.
majority general counsel noted, the objections have no legal grounding in this forum.
And they psychologically playing with him. They slapping the desk. Boom, boom. He nervous. He's scared than 10 people in the crazy house. I said, damn, he's scared. He gonna give it up, Band-Aid Gang. He's gonna talk. He is going to talk. They're not done with him. Look, they're not done with you, Lex. They're not done with you. They're not done with you. Look, the Republicans was told not to show up here. You know why they was told not to show up here? Because they already knew that he was in the clutch. And if they sat behind this man like they was representing this man, it was going to make Donald Trump look even worse. They knew not to show up to his deposition. That speaks volumes.
I'm making it for the record. It is a deposition, so I'm making an objection, that's all.
Look at him. He's hit. He's hit, gang. What's up with him and Bill Clinton in his cup of water? Come on, gang.
So, is this
a single page?
Single page. And I'll give you a moment to look it over.
This is D?
That's D.
Yep.
I'll describe it briefly. This is...
Give him a chance, and me a chance to read it.
Of course.
Thank you.
We have Lex Wexner's attorney, Michael Levi, is in the Epstein files. This is the mob. The Rothschild.
I think I just read it. I've never seen this before, but go ahead.
Great. It's this email chain from 2006 between, starting with Peg Ugland, who we understand was the financial controller for your family office, a person named Darren, who we understand to be Mr. Epstein's lawyer, Darren Indyke.
Double tap the screen, y'all, for that likes up.
And the chain appears to relate to a foundation grant. And the question is whether the funds should come from the Wexner Foundation or some other related entity.
Thank you, Vince Jackson.
Epstein appears to make the decision that if the recipient is a U.S. charity, then the funds should come from the Wexner Foundation. I'll just represent to you, there are other emails with similar themes. This email chain seems to clearly show Mr. Epstein acting as a final decision maker with respect to the disbursement of Wexner Foundation funds. And that obviously does not square with findings in the independent report. So, having been interviewed for the report, my question is whether you had any understanding of Mr. Epstein playing this kind of role for the foundation.
I'm not sure I understand the question.
No problem.
No, you understand the question because you're thinking that you signed off for this man to have power of attorney of all of your shit. So you're going to keep track. Any person that gives the person, especially these type of numbers and this type of money, you already greedy, right? These people are already greedy. So they're going to count every effing thing that they have. They're going to count it. There's no way that you don't have any knowledge of what thing is transferring your from here to there. You have full knowledge on where your assets are going. So we're not falling for that. We're going to hold you accountable. Let's go.
Of Mr. Epstein playing this kind of role for the foundation.
I'm not sure I understand the question.
No problem.
Are you asking me, did Jeffrey decide that money should be given to Abeben? Or do I write a personal check or is it a foundation check?
It seems in this example,
not
Mr.
a
Epstein
personal
was
check,
deciding
man.
whether or not the funds for this entity should or should not come from the Wexner Foundation.
Or from someplace else, not whether the donation should be made itself.
Yeah.
I think that's the distinction he's trying to draw.
I had no recollection of where it came from.
Oh my
I
God.
regularly helped Abba
Y'all see
even
this
after he
game?
retired from government. And I probably would have started with writing a personal check, and then I would speculate how it was paid. I don't remember writing the check, but Eben was a very good friend, and he had no money. He worked for the government of Israel, and Social
Y'all heard
Security
it? Government of Israel.
his income was nothing. He was good.
Israel. So now you guys see why we just go straight to war for Israel. Because Israel has blackmailed America from the beginning. And that's why we're fighting behind Israel. Israel, Israel, Israel. Because Israel has all the information to expose these dudes. So it's you either work for us or we bring up these Epstein files and the type of deals that you were giving up. And we'll even give up the tunnels that you guys have and what you worship. That's why the Iranian people over there are burning the Baal statue, because they know what these people worship.
Like living in public housing. And my sense was that it wasn't fair. So I took care of him privately and his wife Susie until they both died.
Did you have any knowledge that Mr. Epstein was acting as a final decision maker for whether or not to spend foundation funds?
Not at all. He would never have done that.
Well, the paperwork is not going to say
done
that.
it here.
As a decision maker, no, absolutely not.
They should be in jail.
I wouldn't have known it. Didn't know it. Wouldn't have thought it.
So this role would have, him playing this role would have occurred without your knowledge.
Objection. As soon as the fact not in evidence.
It happened without my knowledge, but I did give money to my friend Abba Eben and his wife Susie.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. I think we've had an additional member of Congress join us. If that individual could identify themselves, please.
Congressman Steve Lynch in the 8th Congressional District of Massachusetts.
Hello, I'm Les.
No, we know you, Les. Everybody know your name, Les.
I'd like to spend a little bit of time on the development of New Albany, and I know my colleagues also
Now we
touched
know
on that
New
topic.
Albany.
Could you just briefly describe for us your role in the development of New Albany? I know it was substantial, so a brief overview.
Yeah, it started out with me thinking I wanted to have a house in the country, and it began with thinking I would buy an old barn and restore it, and that'd kind of a cool thing. And as I worked through the project, my personal project, I asked my friend Jack Kessler, who was a professional in the real estate business and a developer, what land cost and what he thought of the idea. And then I got to thinking, do I really want to build a barn? And then I thought I want to build a house.
Need to go to the
and
barn,
I kept telling Jack about what I was thinking I was going to do, having not done anything. And it started out pretty modestly. I think I bought like a 30-acre farm, which is about a mile from here. And then
See, that's why he bought everything so close. So build the tunnels. It's all about the tunnels, gang. They're operating underground.
which I thought was a good location, and over time I kept thinking about it, decided that wasn't a good location, this was a good location. And in the conversations with Jack, he kept saying that these are good ideas, you're not overpaying for land. This was something entirely new to me. And one day I said, Jack, if it's such a good idea, why don't you live here? And he said, I would, but my wife wouldn't move. And then one day he called up, he said, she thinks it's a good idea, and we're going to sell our house, and we'll build one near yours, which is the house that's half a mile away.
Half a mile away.
And I said, if we're going to live here, do you think any of our friends might want to live out near us, or acquaintances of his? And he said, yeah, I think a lot of people would like that, the idea of having more land around, and it's not that far from the airport, stuff like that. And that's how the idea began. And then the next idea was, how do you do it? And Jack is a professional, the only professional I know in the real estate business other than shopping center developers, relied on his judgment about prices we were paying and acquisitions, because I had a full-time job and I didn't know anything about this. And then I got to thinking one day, how do you do it? I mean, not acquire the land, how do you plan it? And I thought there's a lot of smart people at Harvard. So I made a cold call to the School of Architecture, talked to the dean. I said, I have this idea. You don't know me. Could you recommend some architects? And he said, I don't recommend architects to strangers in projects I don't know about. And we talked a while more, and he said, if you'll buy a day of my time, if you're really serious, I'll come out and look at it, because I don't know whether you're really serious about doing this. These are the men that robbed the country. And then he gave me a list of architects, and I didn't know any of them.
I'm going to keep going.
No, I think I've got the sense of it.
Yeah, it kind of just grew by topsy.
I appreciate it. You also touched on this earlier, but what was the role of the New Albany company in the development of the town of New Albany?
Now, what was the role of the company?
Well, it was just the name of the community, so we called it the company, because we were developing New Albany. If we...
You're laundering money, gang. It wasn't even a company, gang. They were laundering money. He told on himself right there. They want to know what was this business that you opened up. They got all the access. They know he should be in jail, gang. That's what they needed Epstein for, gang. What he opened it up for? Look.
Well, it was just the name of the community, so we called it the company. Because we were developing New Albany. If we had developed it in Poughkeepsie, it'd be called the Poughkeepsie Company.
Well, what was that, as far as you recall, Mr. Epstein's role in the development of New Albany?
None.
What
was his role with the New Albany company?
Well, look.
As a fiduciary.
That's where he knows he's popped. Because he know that wasn't a real legitimate business. And he opened it up as a business. But it was a business. The business was underground. Trafficking children. Is that where they stored the children? And it all started with the barn that you seen? Then you built a house right around the corner from that? Okay, exactly. Let's go, gang.
My financial advisor, to understand what was going on financially, I thought I knew what was going on in our businesses, but we always had a CFO. So I'd rely on the CFO to do what the CFO did, because I did the marketing and the planning. But
I see you, Jack boy.
Every business had a CFO, every business had overview. And I had a lot of complexity that I didn't realize at the time in my life. So it was either, somebody had to do this.
And there's paper. I don't want to throw paper at you if I don't have to, but I'll represent to you that yourself and Mr. Epstein were, at least at one point, co-presidents of the New Albany company. I'm happy to show that if that would be helpful. But I guess my question would be,
please double tap the screen for the like button
as
if you just came in.
co-president of the New Albany company?
I think
it wasn't a company. That's
I don't
why.
remember it, but if he did it, it was just
company. It wasn't a company.
I was the president, chairman of the board, and then the CEO of a company, but I really just thought my job was to be the president, so that the titles wouldn't have meant anything to me.
It is right, I think, but you tell me that the purpose of the New Albany company was to assist in the development of New Albany. Is that right?
Now listen.
It was more than that. New Albany was just a farm village, and I bought land here and developed it.
They popped it. A
built
fake
the schools,
business
built
name.
the fire station, built the police station,
on the fake business.
did all the community public facilities, platted streets. I can remember, did all the drawings. So I was the master developer of New Albany as a community.
But if you go back earlier in this video, Melissa, you'll see that we just showed the paperwork. His attorney is also in the Epstein files. So his attorney is making sure that he doesn't slip up, because his attorney's in the Epstein file. He had money invested in Exxon. So there is multiple slides that I showed with this attorney's name in the Epstein files.
Did the New Albany company have any purpose other than to assist in the development of New Albany?
No.
Okay. Mr. Epstein was at one point president of the New Albany company.
I just had to bring it to the forefront
Objection. I think
so
you
the
said he
people
was
that come
co-president.
in,
That's correct.
they
Co-president.
can see where we're going with
But
this.
just so I
Make sure you
understand it, your
tap in
testimony
tonight,
is
so
that
we're
Mr.
going live.
Epstein
We're going
played no
deeper than
role
this.
in the development of New Albany.
Absolutely no role.
Okay.
Thank you guys for the likes. Thank you for double tapping your screen.
Like to talk about the limited company. Was Mr. Epstein ever employed by the limited company or any of its affiliated entities?
Never.
Uh-oh.
Did Mr. Epstein ever have an informal role with the limited company
they got the
or any
emails
of its
that with all the
affiliated
other
entities?
Never.
Did he ever provide any services or advice to the company regardless of compensation?
Thank you so much, Melissa, for subscribing.
Not that I recall.
The Vanity Fair article we looked at earlier, I'll just relay the anecdote. You're welcome to look at it if you want to. But it retells a story that in 1996, the Limited was preparing to spin off Abercrombie and Fitch on the New York Stock Exchange.
Uh-oh, they
And
got him.
Epstein reportedly flew to Columbus and told your executives that he would decide the share price. Do you have any recollection of that occurring?
No. Neil, nothing, not her.
Neil.
And the article says
Who
that
Neil?
Tom
Who Neil
Hopkins,
here?
who I think was the vice chair of the Limited at the time, told you at that point that
Exactly.
Epstein was a con man. Do you have any recollection of that occurring?
No.
Okay. I'll note there's been a lot of reporting.
Because they know it will destroy America if we find out how much they have been cheating our whole country. And these have been all the major chess pieces that are actually controlling our United States government. And the president's the puppet, and he's also in it. Democratic people are in it. Republican people are in this operation. And they have made an oath to not tell, because they are in all these skull and bones, all of these secret societies. They have been exposed. And they know at this point in time, if they are exposed, our whole country goes down, which is what's happening now.
That Mr. Epstein held himself out as affiliated with Victoria's Secret. We will come back to that topic a little bit later. Were there any instances at all that you can recall in which Epstein got involved in the Limited's business affairs?
You have to know. You have to know. You got to say yeah on that one. You have to know.
In terms
He has
of
power
Mr.
of
Epstein's
attorney, gang.
compensation, how was he compensated for his work for you?
How was he compensated? Now listen.
I don't specifically recall, but I would guess fairly.
That should be more clear. Was he compensated with
How was he? You should know that. He has power of attorney, gang. Tell us, why did you give him power of attorney? That's what these attorneys, why did you give him power of attorney? And you don't know shit. You don't know nothing.
salary, or would it have been
salary?
investment-based or securities or fee-based? Do you recall what was the way in which you would compensate him?
I don't recall.
Boom. Do you know how big that was right there? Look at that expression. I had to put that up there. That right there. It seems so little, but it spoke so loud. What he said to you guys, that's why I love to do my reactions, because I pop them. Just right then, this man admitted he don't know how he paid him. Exactly. It's your company. And I don't recall. So this speaks volumes what he just said. I'm gonna rewind it back a little bit. They're trying to figure out, well, how are you paying Jeffrey Epstein? Remind you, they already know that Jeffrey Epstein has power of attorney up over this man. You went to a lawyer, you went to file paperwork and gave this man power of attorney of your shit, and you don't know how you pay him or how much money you pay him, because he knows that they got caught for money laundering. Look, y'all, look at this, gang. They know.
I don't specifically recall, but I would guess fairly.
That should be more clear.
Be
Was
more
he compensated with salary, or would it have been investment-based or securities or fee-based? Do you recall? What was the way in which you would compensate him?
I don't recall.
Oh, wow. Wow.
We discussed earlier, I think, that
You don't
that
know how
the-
you pay Jeffrey
The
Epstein?
breadth of his theft from you, I think, has been estimated by your counsels to be the hundreds of millions. Do you recall approximately what Mr. Epstein's total compensation would have been in his time with you?
I'm sure I would have known them, but I
That's
don't
my
recall.
question, Melissa. Why aren't they behind bars?
I'd like to talk about Mr. Epstein's misappropriation or theft of your assets. And so I will introduce as Exhibit E.
Exhibit E for Epstein. I said, damn. They gonna do Exhibit E on him. Ah, he gonna remember this. Exhibit E. I said, damn.
So this is an excerpt from a memo that the Department of Justice wrote in December of 2019. And DOJ was assessing the extent to which people around Epstein might have been liable for their conduct.
Uh-oh.
The memo is long. I will represent.
They're gonna
I've
be
given you
liable.
only the excerpt that relates to you. There's nothing else in this document that relates to you directly. The section that I've given you on the second and third pages of the document, it's 65 and 66 at the bottom. This is a summary of a proffer that your lawyer or lawyers gave to DOJ in July of 2019.
So his lawyers did a proffer agreement. Y'all know what the proffer agreement is. We'll give you information long as it's not used against us. So they got a proffer. You heard him say proffer agreement. There was a proffer
This is a
agreement.
summary of a proffer that your lawyer or lawyers gave to DOJ in July of.
So his attorneys went to the Department of Justice and did a proffer agreement. So those that know what a proffer agreement is, they gave information. His attorneys gave information to the DOJ. But that information cannot be used against them because they went down and did the proffer agreement. So we know now that there was a proffer agreement. That probably went over a lot of you people's head, and some of y'all probably didn't know what a proffer agreement is. So that means their lawyers filed a proffer agreement. I'll give you information long as you don't tell on me or tell the information that I gave to use it against me. So now he knows that his people, he did a proffer agreement to the Department of Justice, to the DOJ.
This is a summary of a proffer that your lawyer or lawyers gave to DOJ in July of 2019.
He did a proffer agreement.
With respect to Epstein's theft from you, in the second half of the second paragraph, I'll read it out loud. Your attorneys, quote, explained that over his years handling Wexner's finances, Epstein stole or otherwise misappropriated several $100 million from Wexner.
Woo!
That misconduct, together with the fees that Epstein paid himself for his services to Wexner, appears to account for virtually all of Epstein's wealth. So several $100 million is a large but not precise figure. To the best of your knowledge, how much exactly did Epstein steal?
Now they did a proffer.
I don't know.
How you
I
know?
don't think I'll ever know.
What?
I'd like to try to understand a little bit better how Epstein was able to steal or misappropriate that many funds. One way, reportedly, is that the trusts that we described earlier, which I know you said you have no recollection of, I just want to be thorough. The trusts that he was trustee of would receive gifts of limited stock, and he would then sell that stock on the New York Stock Exchange, and then use a portion of those proceeds for his own personal purposes. Do you have any knowledge or recollection of what I just described?
I'm effing surprised. I shocked. I didn't know this.
Is it that you have not previously heard what I just described?
I never heard of it. Never saw this document.
And it was publicly reported, I think, by...
And you see where he messed up? He said he never heard of it, but they clearly, he's reading a piece of paper that is specifically saying that his attorneys, so that means he would have to go pay somebody to represent him to go to the DOJ and file a proffer agreement. You see what I'm saying, gang? We beat you again, bro. You filed a proffer agreement, and we know this from the Young Dolph case. You went down and filed a proffer agreement. So your lawyers went down there and basically ratted and gave some information about what Epstein was doing behind you, but you don't know, and you got the paperwork right in your face. You did a proffer agreement, gang. Everybody go look up what a proffer agreement is. They did a proffer agreement, and he's sitting there acting like he don't know nothing about it. Well, then so you're telling me you just paid some attorneys to go to the DOJ. You paid this attorney that's with you, you know you paid him. Who just says, some attorneys just out of nowhere and say, we just gonna go down there free of charge and go down here and just do a proffer agreement on the behalf of Lex Wexner against Epstein. We're gonna get this to the DOJ. Doesn't make sense. You fucked up, buddy.
Previously heard what I just described.
I never heard of it. Never saw this document.
And it was publicly reported, I think, by ABC several years ago, but not ever on your radar.
Never.
Wow.
The report indicates that it was more than or around $1.3 billion of stock that Epstein moved around that way. Not that he kept all of that money for himself, but the total amount of stock sales was over $1 billion. You have no knowledge or awareness of that.
I don't know the amounts. The only trust that I'm aware of is my wife set up trusts for our kids. You know,
now you're throwing your
so
wife under the
she
bus.
set them up in the amounts.
All right, put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me, Band-Aid gang. I'm back. Put a 1 in the attack. I'm back on the attack. This is what I wanted y'all to see the most. Put a 1 in the chat, man. The reaction, all this is epic. Diabolical. Put a 1 in the chat, y'all. Thank you very much. I'm back. Thank you. Now, this is the part that's diabolical, epic, and we'll never see this ever again in any other courtroom in the United States of America. Let's go.
I'm appalled. I never heard that. Did you know that? No.
Oh boy, he about to croak over. He knows. He messed up.
Charities. Do you have any knowledge
To the
or
money.
if stock and cash were contributed by 2 of your charitable foundations to one of Epstein's charities? Do you have any knowledge or awareness of that?
Effing shocked. I'm appalled.
No, you're not. You're
never
going to
heard that.
jail, bro.
Did you know that? No. Except so.
Thank you, Mr. Director. We have some additional questions from some of the members here. I'll start.
Look at his hands up. You have hands up. He don't even want to touch the paper. Hands up. His hands are up. He's going to jail. He has to go to jail at this deposition, right? He's got to go to court. He got to see the judge. He knows at this point in time, he is going to jail. He is going to jail, gang. Are you guys forgetting? This is deposition, gang. He has to go to a judge. He's gonna have to go to a judge, gang. He is going to jail. Period. All his names and everything is signed off. First, you got to be responsible. You don't make these type of business mistakes at all. Lex Wexner is going to jail. And before he goes to jail, people are going to go down. A lot of people going to go down. A lot of names are going to be said out in the open. Lex Wexner is going to jail. Lex Wexner is not going by himself. He's not. If he doesn't go to jail, allegedly, they're going to send him to the upper room. He ain't going to send him to the upper room, right? Because if he go to jail, right, he might even do another proffer agreement. See, we already seen that he'll do a proffer agreement. He already did one. So he's liable to do another proffer agreement, Band-Aid Gang. You see what we beat you at? When I break it down to these people, that's what they like to see. And that's what I'm going to tell them. Because, see, I ain't got to hold shit back. Because you know what? I ain't got to live like this. Ain't none of us got to live this way. And I'm going to expose it. I don't care what these people got to say about my gang. We winning. We ain't losing shit. We've been doing them all type of ways. They had to try to slow down my algorithm. But that's cool, though. We still run YouTube. We still break cases. We break cases over here on this channel, whether you like it or not. This is epic. He's going to jail. He's going to take some people with him, and you're going to see a lot more shit surface. Mark my word. Y'all going to hear something again tomorrow. It's going to be something new tomorrow. They already playing with my algorithm. They already know I know. Y'all get in here. I ain't got to, we got them. We done them all type of ways. I done them all type of ways since this type of shit done started. I've been doing these people all type of ways. Hit my like button, double tap my screen.
Thank you, Mr. Rector. We have some additional questions and questions from
It's
some
not
of
some
the
bitch
members
right
here.
here.
I'll start. I want to just go back to something.
He going to jail.
Earlier in the
He
deposition,
didn't even
Mr. Rector,
want
you
to touch
said
the paper.
that you were
He
never
gonna
aware
file a
of
proffer
Jeffrey Epstein
agreement.
or Ghislaine Maxwell sexually abusing minors or adult women. Is
Now
that
look.
correct?
I know Jeffrey
What?
was accused by an adult woman of abusing her, and that's the only thing that I knew until the shit hit the fan.
So prior to it becoming public knowledge, you were never aware
No.
of Jeffrey Epstein?
Absolutely not.
Were you ever?
You have to wait till he finishes asking the question.
Sorry.
The court reporters will get mad at you if you don't.
Okay, so I think you said that. You think you said that you were not. Were you ever aware of Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell sexually abusing men or boys?
No.
Okay. How about trafficking men or boys?
No.
Yes, you do.
Prior to it becoming public knowledge, were you ever aware of Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell arranging for a prominent person to have sex with another person?
Never.
Yep.
Can I ask you, Mr. Wexner, were you ever with Jeffrey Epstein in the presence of women or men in bathing suits or underwear?
No.
So
Oh,
never in the
man.
presence
Yes, you
of women or
was.
men in bathing suits or underwear with Mr. Epstein?
No.
The lies.
I mean, if he was at the fashion show, he'd have seen women in underwear. But
So you're saying that if he was at a fashion show with you through the fashion business,
Yeah.
it may have been the case, but could it have been the case that you were with Mr. Epstein maybe prior to the fashion show or in another space?
That's a sign of a lie. Exactly.
Absolutely not.
So did any
Rapidly
women
blinking.
or men ever model clothes for you in the presence of Mr. Epstein?
Look.
No.
So not at a fashion show and not in a private home or residence?
Being in the audience at the fashion show would have been the only possible time.
Are you aware of any individual that has given either a public statement or any information of anyone that has actually said that they believe you were with Mr. Epstein in the presence of women or men modeling clothes or underwear?
I think the answer is no, but I'm not sure I understand the question.
I'll move on. Just a direct question for you, sir. Also, did you yourself ever have
Watch
a
this.
sexual encounter with any individual that was introduced to you by Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell?
No.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Did you personally have a sexual relationship with Jeffrey Epstein?
No.
Ah!
Are you aware that
Lex Wexner,
others have
he know he
claimed
did. He know
that
he
you
did. This Lex
personally
Wexner, look.
have a sexual relationship with Jeffrey Epstein?
No,
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, gang. Yes, you
Are you
did.
aware that others have claimed
Others had claimed that you was his boyfriend. Y'all was, yeah. They were booty they were booty brothers. That's your booty friend. Booty, 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 rocking everywhere. You was rocking booty everywhere. You and that man know y'all was booty popping each other. You know what time it is. You got the look. You got the look. You got the look. You got the look. You got the world and together to come true. You got the look, you got the look, you got the look, you got the look. Over the world is come true. I bet you they was playing that at the modeling contest, so they wasn't he? And Donald Trump was there too. You got the look, you got the look, you got the look, you got the look. Over the world is come true. I said, damn, we beat you. Hey, see what you did? You know he got the look, man, day gang. You know he got the look. He got the look. Okay, he's also 115 years old. He 115. She said 115 years old. And he could be neurological. When he got problems, so not a direct indication of lying. Here's, even though we all know he is. This is Wexner. Done got a world of sinner, got a thing come true. He's got the look. He's got the look. He's got the look. Man, they gang, we got him. He know he was playing with them little kids.
that you had a sexual relationship with Jeffrey Epstein?
Uh-oh, look.
No.
Yes, you did.
Did you ever suspect, sir, if Jeffrey Epstein
Booty
ever had
buddy.
any sexual relationships with other men?
No.
But you, since it being public knowledge, you're now aware that Jeffrey Epstein had inappropriate sexual relationships with other women. Is that correct?
Yes, what I know from the press, the stories, yes.
That let you know right there. That boy toe up. He's got
Thank
the
you.
look.
I'd like to ask you about Epstein's properties and your visits to them. Of
Uh-oh.
course, Epstein in New York and New Albany houses were originally yours, as we discussed earlier, and you also had a house in Palm Beach. Is that correct?
Objection. I think he testified that the house in.
Hey,
New Albany
lawyer,
was
don't
Mr.
you say a
Kessler's.
damn thing, because you in the Epstein files. Michael.
Sorry, I'm just
Michael
trying to
Levi,
clarify.
that
No,
lawyer,
thank
is
you.
in the Epstein
And the
file.
house in Palm Beach. Was there a house that you had in Palm Beach, sir?
I did have a house in Palm Beach
Okay. Did you ever visit Epstein's home in Palm Beach?
once.
Can you tell us about that visit?
He bought a house in Palm Beach and he wanted me to see it. I think he wanted me and Abigail to see it. And we flew down on like a Sunday morning with friends of ours from Columbus. Looked at the house. You know,
No,
congratulations.
what happened was, it was some missing kids missing somewhere in Ohio, because all them kids was coming up missing in Ohio. Y'all put them on a plane, allegedly, and took them down there to Palm Beach. That's what you had done did if you asked the Band-Aid gang. You took some kids that were missing in Columbus, Ohio, allegedly. All over Cleveland they was missing. They was going crazy. Ohio was having so many missing melanated children, gang. That's why he was in Ohio. All them children was coming up missing in Ohio. Now we know what they might have been connected to Lex Wexner, allegedly. Allegedly. But now we see where he was. Ohio. And they allegedly flew them kids down there to Palm Beach. And we on your ass, kicking not in your drawers.
Plane came home. So it was pretty modest house.
Modest house.
So one trip, in that trip, did you ever witness Donald Trump at the house?
No.
Do you recall any other prominent figures at the
Exactly,
house?
Diamond Gang.
It was just Jeffrey and my friends.
Who were the other friends?
Who are you?
Judy and Steve Tuckerman, Dr. Stephen Tuckerman and his wife Judith.
Went down there with a doctor. They keep a doctor with them, don't they? Hungry. They keep a doctor with them. They keeping the doctors with them. Y'all notice that? There's some flesh-eating some bitches. Some flesh-eating some bitches, allegedly. You human torso-eating son of a bitch. You want to eat human beings, you got to get a doctor down there, inject you with some adrenochrome in the side of your cheek. You dope fiending. You didn't go down there with your wife either. Stop playing with the game.
I'm sure
You want to laugh about it. That's why that stuff all on your neck. That's why that stuff all on your neck.
In the U.S. Virgin Islands.
You mad
Yes.
at the motherfucker.
Can you tell
You
us
mad
about
that you
those
finna go to jail.
Yes,
You
Jeffrey,
mad that you made a deal with the devil. Dope fiend.
invited us to see it, and we were on a boat, and we went to the island with our kids. So Abigail, myself,
And what
I can't remember how many kids we had, 2, 3, or 4, but at least 2, walked around for a while.
I said, damn, there we go. Need we say more? Are you not entertained? They are taking kids down there to that man island and taking them kids up under the ground. See, I got the survivor on my channel. Yeah, I got the girl on my channel that I'm showing tonight. See, I'm finna knock the rubber off they drawers. I told y'all I was coming back to back to back. And I did it. Diamond Gang gonna be on the channel with me tonight. We gonna do them all type of ways. Cause see, you know what the girl said? Diamond, send me that stuff. Send me that stuff through my through my messages. I need that. We gonna walk back down there through the house. Matter of fact, Diamond, we just gonna go to the website. That's what we gonna go to tonight. We gonna go down to his house, right? We gonna take you through the house. We gonna take you through the house tonight. We gonna line y'all up. Now this is what we finna do to you, gang. We finna do them all type of ways. I already got it lined up for your ass. But the lady said the same day, if y'all go back on my lives, me and Diamond, we was going through the whole house. We was like, this furniture look weird. This house ain't right. The girl said it. I got the clip when she said, you know what, when they was taking me back and forth, the furniture looked weird in the house. I think everything was going on underground, gang. We beat you. Everything that they are doing, they're doing it underground. They're taking this blood, they're feeding an entity, let alone with feeding themselves. These people made a deal with the devil, Band-Aid Gang, and we popped them. And we gonna pop them tonight. Oh yeah, they gonna be madder than 10 people. They gonna be madder than 10 people that can't get in the goddamn food stamp, can't get they card decline. They link card decline. They gonna be madder than 10 people when they link card decline. But you telling me I can't get no food? Yeah, you can't get no food on my channel. This why they love when I come rock a show, because I tell it how it is. You went to that island with some kids. You said they was your kid. Lex Wexner went to the island with some kids. Howard Lucknick went to the island with some kids. One party said he went down there with the nanny, but when he was in front of the DOJ, when he was in front of the people getting questioned, he said that he mentioned them kids, the nannies and them. The nannies was all of a sudden gone. See, I don't miss a beat on my channel. I said, damn, you went down there with some kids, but when you just said it earlier, you said you and your wife had done went down there. Let's go.
Myself, but I can't remember how many kids we had.
You can't remember?
We were on a boat, and we went to the island with our kids. So Abigail, myself, but I can't remember how many kids we had, 2, 3, or 4, but at least 2, walked around for a while and left. Probably an hour visit.
Okay.
Who goes and walks around for an hour on a long-ass boat ride? When I get on a boat and I get to where I'm going, I need to chill out for a minute. Shit, I ain't getting back on that motherfucker right away. An hour later, let's ride it again. Hell no, I gotta gotta get my mind right. Band-Aid gang, y'all know y'all ain't going to no motherfucking place for no goddamn hour. Hit the like button. I'm gonna just go out here for an hour and just come right back. Hell no, man. You crazy the motherfucker. You got kids with y'all and everything. Y'all go out there for an hour with the kids. They just let the kids stay at the house. Hell, that's what I just tell it like it is. You ain't got to like me. You ain't got to watch my channel or nothing. I'm just gonna say it how it is. All right, let's get going on a trip, y'all. Where we going on the boat? On the boat where? It's over here for an hour. We're just gonna go over to Epstein's for an hour. We'll be right back. That's the life. They living the life, ain't they? How would you feel if I said, hey, we're just gonna take a boat for an hour, go over there for an hour, and just come right back? I said, damn.
An hour. So on that trip, do you recall the U.S. Virgin Islands?
Yes.
The Virgin Islands.
About those visits.
Yes. Jeffrey invited us to see it, and we were on a boat, and we went to the island with our kids. So Abigail, myself, but I can't remember how many kids we had, 2, 3, or 4, but at least 2. So
that's where he jacked his Mac. He jacked his whole Mac right there. Right there, Band-Aid gang. Now, I'm going to do a little bit more of this. I ain't going to stay on that long on this live and keep on entertaining y'all ass, because y'all know I do a hell of a good job and I get carried away. But tonight is the night. Tonight is the night. Tonight is the night. Ain't it, Angel? Tonight is the night. I want y'all there too, goddammit. I said, damn. Now look, I can't do. The man said he went there with their kids. My kids, I know how many I got. I got 5 kids, goddammit. I got 5 of them. I know all their names fluently. But you went up there with your kids and you don't, how many kids you got, my dude? I said, damn, you fucked up, shawty. Like they say in Atlanta, you fucked up, shawty. Shawty, you know you messed up, right? You know you done fucked up, don't you? You went to an island with some kids, but you said they was yours. But then you don't know how many kids you took up there with you. I don't know, 3 or 4. I said you jacked your Mac.
And we were on a boat, and we went to the island with our kids. So Abigail, myself, but I can't remember how many kids we had, 2, 3, or 4, but at least 2. Walked around for a while and left.
Popped itself. Now that one I'm making out of a short. I got 3 shorts coming up. Yeah, I got 3 shorts. That one is a short right there. That's a short.
I'll be delighted about that.
No, they won't be.
Did you ever visit his island in the U.S. Virgin Islands?
Yes.
Can you tell us about those visits?
Yes. Jeffrey invited us to see it, and we were on a boat, and we went to the island with our kids. So Abigail, myself, but I can't remember how many kids we had, 2, 3, or 4. But
wow.
Walked around for a while and left.
He don't know how many kids he got.
Okay, an hour. So on that trip, do you recall seeing any prominent figures on the island?
No, and it was a pretty crummy island.
Crummy Island.
Did you ever visit his ranch in New Mexico or his house in Paris?
I'm going to break those up for clarity.
Did you ever visit his ranch in New Mexico?
It was the same kind of thing. He wanted Abigail and I to see his ranch. We flew down there and drove around for an hour or 2, got back on the plane and came home. And I don't think he had a house.
So he went to Zorro Ranch. We on your ass. He went to Zorro Ranch and drove around. What you driving around Zorro Ranch for? You can't just be driving around there. It's not, boy, we know, I'm a truck driver. For one, I'm going to show y'all some stuff too. If you even take that road going up there to Zorro Ranch, if you even take that highway, your ass going to get pulled over. Because it ain't nothing out there but they shit. So when you get out there, you got to turn left and you go through this little weird looking shit like a little town like thing. And then you go up that mountain and all of that. And then you on the ranch sitting up there on the mountain. So when you get up there, what you driving around for? You didn't go in the house? You didn't go in the house, gang? What you driving around there for, bro? Are you hunting? Are you hunting did you take some kids up there and hunt them? Did you hunt them kids down when you went to the other crummy? What did you take? You just said you went to this island before you just went to Zorro Ranch. You were just telling the story. You went to them kids and you said that island was crummy. So what you go to the crummy ranch for, bro? With them kids, and you don't know how many kids you had with you. Did you hunt them kids? If it was a crummy island, if the island was crummy, so you didn't go to Epstein Island. You met him on another island. Hit my like button. Double tap my screen, because I spit nothing but facts, gang. I spit nothing but facts. I'm going to read this comment. I believe a lot of children are gone or sold off somewhere, and we track it. Absolutely. Count and find them chicken men. I know that's real. Look. Phyllis said they gonna go to the same place Jeffrey Dahmer went. Sickos. Big facts. Holy shit, I remember how many kids I had. Exactly. And that was over 30 years ago. Bingo. Because they did something with them kids. That's why he couldn't give you the count. That's why he couldn't give you the count. Because they did something with them kids. And that's a sad story. They did something with them kids. We seeing it all right here. This is why my people tell me, keep doing your reviews. Keep dropping that motherfucking gems on their ass. So the people that at least come over here understand what's really going on. Some of y'all see it, but somebody ain't got the voice like I do to come out and say it. That's why they be playing with my channel. Because I catch everything, and people like how I catch them. And I say the shit that other people scared to say. Double tap my screen. We got 29 up here. Let's go. You took them kids. So he said he went to Zorro Ranch, Band-Aid gang, and started riding around. What you riding around out there in them damn hot-ass mountains for? When you done got to the spot. You know already made it to the spot. You finna go in the house and chill. You drove around for an hour or two, and then got back in the car. And first of all, now I'm about to do you all type of ways. The man got a helicopter landing pad there. And you can fly in on a little bitty plane, private plane. So you telling me you landed and y'all started driving around. Lex Wexner, you can't come on live when I'm on this motherfucker and do nothing. So you mean to tell me, Band-Aid gang, they either came in on a helicopter on Zorro Ranch, because it got a landing pad, it's in the middle of nowhere in the desert. So he said they got there and they drove around? Don't make no sense. You must have got there by helicopter. You don't want to say you got there by helicopter. Ain't no use of you riding across the desert. You rich and this man got a helicopter. See, we got you. We beat you. Yeah, we beat you.
Just want to break those up for clarity.
Did you ever visit his ranch in New Mexico?
It was the same kind of thing. He wanted Abigail and I to see his ranch. We flew down there.
They flew?
And drove around for an hour or two.
Okay, and they drove around.
Came home.
Got back on the plane and came home.
Had a house.
So you would fly just to go visit for 1 hour?
Right.
Yeah, I would fly to Europe for 1 hour on business trips. As crazy it is, getting on the plane and going place.
That's how you know that there is something at Zorro Ranch. There is a tunnel that connects to Tom Ford's house and Gene Hackman's house. All of that connects. There is an underground tunnel there I'm going to show you guys tonight. That's why he's saying he only went there for an hour, because he's scared. See, we wouldn't even say you went there for an hour if you was in your right mind. You don't say you went there for an hour. That's where he messed up. He should have just said, yeah, we went to visit. That's it. But when you said an hour, that's when you jacked your Mac, bruh. You should have just shut the hell up. You should have said, yeah, me and my wife went to go visit him there, yep. And that's it, and shut your mouth. But you said you went there for an hour. See, God slapping you in your back, making you spill all your beans, because you did wrong, you did evil. You did evil. You made a deal with the devil. You made a deal with the devil. And you said you just went there for an hour. Nigga, please. I said, damn.
I would fly to Europe for 1 hour on business trips. As crazy it is, getting on the plane and going places for me was like going to the mailbox. And he didn't have a house on the ranch, and I never knew he had a house in Paris.
And in the ranch in New Mexico that you spent an hour at, were there any prominent figures or anyone that you recall else being there?
No, as I recall, it was just Abigail, myself, and I think he'd rented a trailer, so it wasn't a house. And that's all I know.
Okay. And so
We beat you. I know we having a moment of silence because him saying that right there spoke volumes. He's not trying to put anyone at that house. Y'all see what I'm saying, gang? Because it's underground tunnels. When you listen to him, how he's speaking, he not talking about that. He said there's a trailer. He trying to make you think it's a trailer out there. He is not identifying going on to that house. He don't want you to go to the house. He said he rented a trailer. There was no trailer there. There's been a house there for years. Jeffrey Epstein bought that house from the governor of New Mexico. It's always been there. He don't want y'all to go inside that house. He's saying he rented a trailer, that there wasn't a house on Zorro Ranch. You just fucked up, buddy. I gotta hear you say that lie again.
I don't think he had a house.
So you would fly just to go visit for 1 hour?
Yeah, I would fly to Europe for 1 hour on business trips.
So if he got a house out there and he wanted you to see the house, but he brought you to a trailer, you said he wanted you to see the house. So he brought you to some dirt in a trailer? Oh my God, let's go.
The U.S. Virgin Islands.
Yes.
Can you tell us about those visits?
Yes, Jeffrey invited us to see it, and we were on a boat.
Go back to the kids now.
We went.
Just let this resonate in, y'all.
So Abigail, myself, but I can't remember how many kids we had.
Can't remember the kids. They taking kids.
Walked around for a while and left.
Now you're gonna say the island was garbage looking. Watch.
Okay. And
Now
now,
look.
so on that trip, do you recall seeing any prominent figures?
Look at that garbage island.
No, it was a pretty crummy island.
Okay.
It's a pretty crummy island. Took him to a crummy island. He took the kids to a crummy island. All right, trying to keep you away from where the real spot at. He trying to hide y'all from the real spot.
Did you ever visit his ranch in New Mexico or his house in Paris?
I'm going to break those up for clarity.
Did you ever visit his ranch in New Mexico?
It was the same kind of thing. He wanted Abigail and I to see his ranch. We flew down there.
He wanted them to see the ranch because it's nice. He wanted to see the ranch. Now remember, this is Zorro Ranch. There is a house there. There is a house on Zorro Ranch, gang. Now listen.
And drove around for an hour or two. Got back on the plane and came home. And
They drove around for an hour or two. He don't want y'all to go in the house. They don't want to go inside the house. That's why they talking about trying to turn it into a church. See, right now, we don't know what's going on at that house. See, because it's only one way in, one way out. So they up in there trying to destroy shit. They trying to fill in them holes down there underground. He is trying not to go let everybody know what's in that house. That's why he's saying they drove around. And then he's still going to say he rented a trailer. He's going to stay away from the house in his conversation. They want us to stay away from Zorro Ranch.
I don't think he had a house.
So you would fly just to go visit.
You don't think he had a house?
Yeah.
What you go out there for? You know there's a house there. You know he had a house there.
I would fly to Europe for 1 hour on business trips. As crazy it is, getting on the plane and going places for me was like going to the mailbox. And he didn't have a house.
What?
On the ranch, and I never knew he had a house in Paris.
See, look.
And in the ranch in New Mexico that you spent an hour at, were there any prominent figures or anyone that you recall else staying there?
No, as I recall, it was just Abigail, myself, and I think he'd rented a trailer, so it wasn't a house. And
said he rented a trailer and it wasn't a house on Zorro Ranch. There's your answer. So that's gonna key in tonight. We know now on this live, and I will be creating shorts out of this little shit that he said because he is keeping us away from the house. There's something underground the house, and it connects. Santa Fe connects right in there. We got Tom Ford house and everybody. I brought out Tom Ford. I brought out Tom Ford first. Ask my gang. I brought out Tom Ford first, and then they started talking about Tom Ford. I brought it out because I had already zoomed in on the map and went to the map. And then after I said that, I said, guess what, y'all? What I said after that, and it came out, Angel. I said, after Tom Ford is something I said, and then they came right out with it. Even the war I predicted was finna happen. No, the Epstein files came out. That's when I found it. My whole gang know about this. I've been talking about this. That's how I found out from zooming in on the map. I had did the Google Earth, and I zoomed in, and it screwed. When I moved over a little bit, it said Tom Ford Ranch. I said, Tom Ford. I typed in Tom Ford. Tom Ford. Next thing you know, Tom Ford popped up in the Epstein files, and I knew them tunnels connected. Knew the tunnels connected. These women was... He runs Victoria's Secrets, gang. So them women were wearing them little skimpy outfits. Donald Trump was having beauty pageants. It all adds up. They were using some of the models that was really down for the down as escorts. And they were escorting to high-class people. And they knew it. Some of the people in Iran and over there in the Middle East, they had escorted them women to the men. And the men got that documented. And the men can leak that too. See, I'm on their ass. This Band-Aid gang, I'm C-Dub, Mr. I ain't said a word, but you know what I'm saying, and I said, damn. Make sure y'all at the live at 9, I think it's at 9 or 10, but it's listed. We going in tonight. I'm finna take y'all down a deep rabbit hole that's gonna expose these people and show you why they talking the way they talking. Make sure you double tap the screen. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you all guys for coming in. Diamond Gang will be on the platform. Hope to see you there. I'm C-Dub, Mr. I ain't said a word, but you know what I'm saying, and I said, damn, and I'm with the Real Angel. She over there knocked out sleep. And we beat you Band-Aid gang. Thank you guys for coming. I'll see you guys later. Peace and love. And we out. Peace.